After 4 literal years of delay, we finally got the Uzumaki anime and it looks absolutely amazing. Yes, you heard me right, Uzumaki was actually initially planned to release back in 2020, but because of the pandemic and complications of adapting the intricate and detailed drawing of Junji Ito's work, the father of horror manga, it got delayed so much. However, we finally can taste those delectable fruits. Make sure to watch until the end of the video to see the comparison between the anime and the manga and what Junji Ito himself think of the anime adaptation. Now, I've got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. I gotta say, I had some very high expectations for Uzumaki series and the anime just crushed it. The animation, voice actors, and even the music sits perfectly with these utmost eerie and horrifying scenes. The story takes place in a small town called Kurouzu, a normal and peaceful town until one day, people start getting infected by the spiral. Something lurks around the town in its mountains, sea, the glooming lighthouse that watches over the town by its evil eyes, and even the air. All are infected with this spiral. What is this spiral and what does it do? Nobody really knows, but it feels like the people around the town are not aware of its presence or the weird effects caused by it. They tend to ignore all the signs except this one boy called Shuichi, one of the main characters who commutes to a high school in a town nearby. He's the only one that can feel that something is different about this town. As the story unravels, more creepy things start happening to the people. Well, it's certainly one of the most unique ideas I've ever heard in a horror theme, and I love it. Now let's talk about the manga versus the anime and compare the two to see how faithful the adaptation is. If they did a good job, and should you read the manga or just stick to the anime? Well, there is an easy answer. It's almost identical. Like the manga came out to life without any differences. No complaints about being faithful so far. And the story seems pretty intact and following the manga, except interchanging some parts of the story, I guess, for making it having more wow factor. For example, the story of the slimy fat kid comes way later than when the anime shows it. In the manga, it's more episodic and each story ends before the other starts. And to be fair, I think the anime is doing a way better job than the manga in storytelling. The only one complaint that I have is that why is it not colored? Why didn't they color it, man? There is so much potential. It could have added so much value. It was so close to greatness. It was like this close. Considering how bizarre and brutal everything looks in this anime, it would have made it super challenging to add color. However, Junji Ito himself praised the creators and said they wanted to recreate it that way out of respect for the original, which made me very happy. But in my opinion, it's just wasted potential, don't you think? Even if they would have just colored the blood and have some red coloring along those black and whites, it would have made such a huge difference. And there are some panels of the manga that are already colored, so the creators could have gotten some inspirations from it, but what can you do? It still looks horrifying and beautiful nevertheless. I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but there was this other anime called Junji Ito Collection, which honestly did not appeal to a lot of people. They basically criticized the lack of attention to details in the manga, bland use of colors and backgrounds, bad character design, and failing to capture the style of the source material. Personally, I just remember that I enjoyed it, to say the least. Also, beside that, there has been a couple of more animes made from Junji Ito's work, which none of them really did great either. However, Uzumaki solved all of those problems. It's a one-to-one adaptation that perfectly resembles the manga in a live format. One final thought that I'd like to mention is about the voice acting. I don't know if you guys noticed this effect or it's just like me, but I've heard this in many different places and creators on YouTube also tend to use it as well. There is this robotic and almost auto-tune-ish effect that makes the voice crispier, and I can see it that it's used in this anime as well.
Haven't I told you to use an umbrella in the rain?
I can't say that I really like it, but I don't hate it either. It just scratches that part of my brain that makes me notice it right away. I feel like in general, it sounds pretty weird, but considering the theme of this series, it actually works really well because it makes it more creepy. Besides that, the Japanese voice acting is also really good. I mean, they literally got the Roy Mustang as Shuichi here, and the ambient music and sound effects are really haunting. Well, all in all, I absolutely recommend watching the anime instead of reading Uzumaki. There's literally no reason to justify reading the manga now that the anime is here, unless you don't like animations for some reason, or if you just want to take it slow, I guess. But anyway, thank you for watching and make sure to subscribe to not miss out on my future content. Trust me, I'm working on some banger videos, so it should be really fun, and I will see you in the next video.